Hey guys, I'm back. It's kind of a slow week for me right now, so I thought it'd be kind of a fun time to introduce my dogs officially and kind of tell you a little bit about them. This is Jackson, he's the middle one. This is Lily, she's the baby. And then this is Abram, he's the oldest. And they are all holiday puppies. So Lily we joke that she was like the biggest April Fool's joke ever because she's an April Fool's Day puppy. Abram's a Halloween puppy, and Jackson is a 4th of July puppy. When Wes and I first got together, he actually already had Abram, and he was named Abram after the Abrams tank, so he lives up to his name, being a tank. He's big. But the funny thing about Abram is he is the reason that I love dogs so much. I was not a dog person at all when he and I met. And I'll never ever forget, Wes and I were just starting to date, and Abram and I were getting to know each other a little bit. And so Wes says, blow in Abram's face, he really likes it. And he gave out the biggest big dog bark I have ever heard him ever give. And then he just kind of looked at me like he was so proud of himself because he made me scream when he did it. And so ever since then we've been good. So that's my earliest funny memory of Abram. But he has tricked me into the dog park before, making me think that he needed to go potty. We've been through an earthquake together. That was really crazy. And so then when we were still living in California, we were about to move back to Tennessee. It was kind of the end of summer, and I really at this point wanted a second dog. And so we had looked at some places. I thought that I was going to end up with a designer dog, a little purse dog or whatever. And that's what Jackson was supposed to be. But I kind of just decided to wait until we got moved back instead of trying to house train a puppy while we were moving. So pretty much right after we moved back home, I found Jackson. And again, all 3 of them are rescue dogs. But he was in the rescue dog section of a pet store, and he was so cute. He was all black, solid black. 3 of his paws were white. He didn't have hardly any of the brown that he does now. And I'll never forget his first night at home because it was so traumatizing for me. But it's funny now. But so we had bought all new stuff for him. I bought him, I was going to buy him a leash and a collar and all of that, but I thought, well, I'll try and see if I can get the leash that we have to work. Well, that didn't work out so hot. Kind of right off the bat, kind of choked him a little bit right off the bat, which is not funny, but it is now. And I had given him a treat, just brand new dog, giving him a treat. And Jackson, we had such a first traumatic night, didn't we? Yeah. So I gave him this treat, trying to be sweet and everything because I felt bad about the leash thing. And this treat got lodged up inside of the roof of his mouth, so I had to stick my finger up inside of his mouth to get it out. And it was so traumatizing for both of us, but he's a sweet boy. He is almost 11. He turns 11 on 4th of July. And Abram is 13. So funny story about these 2 because we've only had Lily for a couple of years now, so she's the baby. But probably about 5 years ago, my best friend was coming into town for after Christmas for New Year's and gonna stay here in Tennessee for a few days. And the boys decided it was a good idea 12 hours before she came to make friends with the neighborhood skunk. Didn't you, Jack? Yeah. So we'd already cleaned the house. We were ready for her to be here, and the house reeked of skunk. And in fact, reeked of skunk for a long time. She even took some back home with her to Virginia. We were trying to get them cleaned up before she got there, trying to get rid of the skunk smell as much as we could, which was a lot harder than we realized. But I have some really crazy pictures of these 2 in a really morbid looking tomato bath. But so that was before we ever got Lily. So then Lily, this Lily girl, she's being so calm right now. So with Lily, she wasn't even supposed to happen at all, okay? I jokingly put on Facebook that I had doggy fever. Are you awake? Is it your part now? Okay. So I jokingly put on Facebook that I had doggy fever. And a friend of mine from high school says to me, she said, Lindsay, I need you to take my dog. Like, I wouldn't trust her with just anybody, but I can't keep her. She's too high energy right now for my voice. And I really want to give her a good home. And so would you take her? And I said, well, she sent me some pictures of her. I said, well, why don't you bring her over and we'll see how it goes. Well, I don't want to promise anything, but bring her over. We'll let her meet our dogs. We'll see how she does and go from there. Well, this dog was so sweet. Abrahm, you are like... this dog is so sweet, but from the second she came through the door, she hopped into my lap and she was like, all right, I'm yours, and she did. She hopped in my lap and she was just as sweet as she could be, but she was so high energy. I remember that first night, she was just making loops around our living room, like full speed, around and around for like 2-3 hours straight. And so I finally was like, all right, we really need to go get her some stuff. We need to get a kennel. We needed to get a collar and a leash and all of that. What's the matter, buddy? You all right? And so we get her in the car, and she falls asleep immediately. I mean, full steam for 2 hours and just passes out in the car. I was like, okay, well, that's good to know.
This is Lily. She just came home to us tonight, and she's pretty awesome.
So we had gotten her like early December, like first week of December, second week of December, something like that. And I decided to go ahead and buy them all new stockings, and got them some super cute stockings and everything. I was super, super excited about it. Well, Christmas rolls around, and we're going to Kentucky to go visit Wes's family. And we put her in her kennel because we didn't really trust her yet. We weren't sure how housebroken she really was. She was still kind of getting used to being in the house and everything. So we put her in her kennel and we went to Kentucky. We come back and everything that could be destroyed easily was completely destroyed. She had gotten out of her kennel and had chewed holes through 2 of the stockings to get to the dog treats that were in there, and our living room was just littered with paper and plastic, and just stuff was knocked off of tables, and she destroyed everything. And it was the funniest thing, but I never trusted her again after that. So she got a padlock, but she's so smart, she actually has been able to escape with the padlock on. So yeah, she's too smart sometimes. But so that's pretty much it for right now. Those are just some of the stories that stick out to me that are pretty funny over the years. I have lots and lots of other stories. With Abrahm, he's tricked me into going to dog parks, making me think he needs to go potty. They've escaped. We had the skunk. There's so many other stories that have happened over the years, but honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. They're sweet, and I absolutely just recommend, if you can get a rescue dog, get a rescue dog, because they need the love and they need the homes, and they are some of the sweetest dogs. Like Lily in particular, she's so smart and she's so intuitive, and if I'm having a bad day, this dog knows it every single time. It's the craziest thing. And then Abrahm, he's so chill. He's chill, but he's sweet and he's loving. And then Jackson, we always joke you could tell that Jackson's mine because he's so high strung, but he's a sweet boy too. He's just Jackson, They all have their own distinct personalities, but that's what kind of makes it special for me, is they're all so different. And this one likes chipmunks and stuff. He's all muddy right now because he got trying to make friends with some chipmunks today. Oh, God. Anyway, So if you can, get yourself a rescue dog. You won't regret it. They're some of the sweetest dogs you'll ever get. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I can hardly remember the day when I didn't like dogs. And I can't imagine not having these three. So anyway, you guys, have been asking me to do more like real life stuff and show more about my personal life and things like that. And so this is what you get. You get dog videos. Because that's how boring we are. Most exciting thing is them. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'm sure we will all see you soon. Bye, guys.